Hey guys, I am John Carrick, and today we are looking at Rocket Girl number 8 by Brendan Montclair and Amy Reeder. Last night I found out that they have a cartoon. The comic book that Marvel hired them away from Image to do was called Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and it was sort of a reboot of a book called Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur. And in this story, a young girl who's a super genius brings a Tyrannosaurus Rex back from the, dinosaur times, ancient past, Cretaceous era. I don't know which one it was called. And they protect the Lower East Side of Manhattan from danger. That's the how it reads on the cartoon. So I guess this got pitched. Kevin Feige or someone showed Samuel L. Jackson a copy of the comic book. And it's now a cartoon in its second season. I think it's a musical. I've never watched it. I only ran across it by accident. I did not go doing any research. And that's pretty awesome. I'm really happy for them. I guess it's essentially this, but a younger character to make it more ridiculous. And how would I say, to make it more, ridiculous, This is a little bit too adult. And the future to past thing, I don't know. For this story, besides this was Image, the other one was Marvel. I don't know how much of the rights, I don't know how much they're getting paid for this, because while they did create a new character, it was in an existing franchise. So are they getting shunned the way Rob Liefeld did by the animation team? That would be just terrible. That would be heartbreaking, because Amy Reeder is really where the talent's at. The story isn't special. The art is magnificent. This is why Todd McFarlane said, if you get Michelangelo to draw a comic book, I can have my dog write it. It really is too bad. But you know what? If I want to stand out, I need to stand out on a Banksy level with individual images and really poignant, succinct text. I need to be a meme master if I want people to read my novels. That's the world we live in today. Stone Toss could get people to read his novels. So, and Black Pigeon, he wrote a novel too, The Day of the Rope. I still haven't listened to it or read it. I need to. Anyhow, here we go. Rocket Girl number 8. 8, 9, and 10 all came out sequentially within a month of each other, but there was a long delay between 6 and 7 and 7 and 8. This is the quintessential robbery in progress. And this is Dae-Young's helmet we are looking out through. She is Rocket Girl, Dae-Young Johansson. And this is 1980s in an arcade. It's gritty. The art is a lot less cleaned up than it has been in the past. But maybe it's for the 80s. Maybe Amy is doing that deliberately. So I hope this was in focus this whole time. I love the hanging smiley face, Pac-Man. So here she's got her hand on like this gun, and I thought for sure she was going to, draw, and they were going to have like a showdown moment. But instead she does these gymnastics. She doesn't even set her rocket engines off. She just does a standing backflip over the arcade games and smashes his head into a pinball game. Anyhow, the girl who's being held hostage runs away. This nice crack right here. This page we get later on is a layout, which is really kind of cool. I love Amy's art. Here we are at the arcade after everything goes down. Dae-Young is in disguise. She's no longer dressed as Rocket Girl. She's just hanging out. This cop, Ciccione, who they call Chick or Chicky, he wants to know where she is. This cop, who met her the first time she came into Times Square in issue number 1, and himself is also in New York now from the past. Officer Dunn. I want to call him Ben Dunn, but I think that's a famous person's name or a meme or something. I don't know. Or that's Ben Dunn. Anyhow, he's there looking for Rocket Girl 2. The detective wants to know what he's doing there. Blah, blah, blah. He says he's off duty. He was just cutting through to get a beer with a friend. So Dae-young follows him out of the arcade. I love the traditional panels and gutters. I don't know why, but I really do. I like these kinds of layouts most. But if you can print to the edge, why not do art to the edge? Why have all this dead space? I mean, I get the artist's perspective. I would, of course, minimized the dead space. So much good inking, it looks like cross-hatching. Dae-young is staking out this apartment, and then she decides to go back and get her rocket pack. Inside the apartment she was staking out, after she has left, is the police officer, his other self, his partner, and a pregnant woman, which is probably this guy's wife, and they're at his place, the blonde guy. He went into the evidence room and stole back this guy's gear, some sort of, weapon, obviously. And now we get the future past, 2013. The cops who are not cops anymore because their police commissions were granted to them by quantum mechanics who's turned the lights out in the entire city of New York are on their way to quantum mechanics, and they encounter this group of street hooligans, these thugs. I love this guy's Dark Knight Returns glasses. This guy's got painted eyes, or he just hasn't, had a lot of protein lately. The police commissioner tells them that they're not cops, that cops have been shut down. And if for a moment it seems like they're going to let them go by down here at the bottom. It's very dark, obviously, this page. It's at night. There's no lights. They're going to let them go by, but then those guy says, psych, and he uppercuts her. This one attacks this girl who does a back kick and breaks his nose. This girl is the pink-haired girl with the mohawk from the first page. And I guess it goes across like this and then across. It's not really how I read it. It doesn't really matter because this could be separated from that. In the end, they beat them up and they win, right? It's a very cartoony 2 pages. For a lot of this, I'm hearing the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack in my head. The colors are right. I don't know, the characters look right. This looks heavily Bebop influenced. I must have watched that series half a dozen times or a dozen times. I probably watched the movie a couple dozen times. Samurai Champloo, same thing. Sebajun's soundtrack and Samurai Champloo's been on my iPod forever. I love this. I love her streaked helmet, the blue and red lights. So she's returning with all her rocket gear to the apartment where the blonde cop was with his pregnant wife, and she kicks in this door. This is a door and that's a window, right? So she looks in through the window and then kicks in the door because she saw that he is wounded in there. And he's been shot, this cop, by the guy who looks like the other cop. So he's dead. This is This is the first time we've seen any serious consequences in this comic. This comic has been very cartoony. Definitely along the lines of the Tick as opposed to the Crow. I don't think anyone ever got hurt in the Tick, even when they were up against Chainsaw Man. So here Dae-young decides that she needs a team, and she is going to go draft Annie and the others. I love this color. At first I thought the red and blue spots were, and I think they are, that's the reflection of her lights on the fuel as it ignites. This is her, she is such an all-around great artist. Here, Dae-young drops down one of these New York City, I don't know what you call that. Building, well, really what is it? It's a window well. I've never lived in New York, so I moved out of Chicago at 18. I joined the Marine Corps. So I never lived in Chicago. I lived in Northern Illinois. And I'm sure there are buildings like that. That's just a fascinating thing to see. I really love it. As a kid, I'd have been out trying to climb these, One of them would have broken, I would have fallen and broken both my legs. Or my brothers would have done it. She jumps into Annie's bathroom. She climbs in through Annie's bathroom window. And Annie, this is a gag, right? This panel is a gag. This is all a gag. And this is Dae-young this is what should have happened at the beginning of the middle of issue 1. This should have happened on Dae-young's first introduction to these people. At the end of issue 1, she should have drafted them into her personal army. And she's trying to do it now at the end of issue 8. So that girl she rescued from the rapist wasn't even her mom. That was a missed opportunity. I love this hand. I love this mouth. I love everything about Amy's art. I really, really, really do. The only white guy in the group throws up. Now, if this isn't, culture war, I don't know what is. Like when everyone's against you, Alan Watts, I've talked about this before. Alan Watts talked about an experiment that was being done at colleges where 2 guys would be sent out of the room, and student A and B, and the class would agree that when they came back in, they would have a discussion, and everything student A said would be agreed with, and everything student B said would be disagreed with. And if you don't think that that's going on in our culture right now, the same way it was done racist against blacks for a long time, I'm not going to deny that, but we had gotten past it, and now it was turned through the culture by a certain group of people, and you could say it's karma. You can't say it didn't happen. You can argue over why all day, but you can't say it didn't happen. So now that you know it's happened, now you need to deal with the consequences, and the consequences are coming at you hard and fast. The Saxon has begun to hate, and his eyes are level and straight, and he knows whereof he's thinking. This is the end of the book. They're arguing with her. This is the future, and they are being admitted into quantum mechanics, and they're being told, we expected you. Here we get this Batman bit. I really like this. This would be that's the next cover, so we'll get that tomorrow. Only a couple more issues, then we're going to do... I have a 5 or 6 issue limited series called May. And then we should be getting Danger Girl in the mail, hopefully, by then. I'm really looking forward to that. Look at this. This is the cover in black and white. And these are the layouts I was talking about. This is the first half of the arcade shootout right? Where Daeung's got a hand on her gun that she never draws. And then we get the full inked bit. Look at how clean these inks are. I love everything about this book except the story. The story's not really there. These are disconnected sketches. These are comedy sketches. This looks good. It's a little weird, but good. This looks retarded. That I took a picture of, and I'm going to put it on the thumbnail because that is beautiful. All right, let's do the next bit. Hey guys, I am John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and Legend of Ashley Fox. Today we were looking at Rocket Girl number 8 of 10 by Image Comics, Amy Reeder and Brendan Montclair, who went on to do Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur for Marvel, which is now in its second season as a cartoon. Musical cartoon. Good for them. They deserve it. They earned it. Even though this story sucks, I'm hoping someone at Marvel helped them improve that. We are here looking at Legacy of a Mad Scientist and Legend of Ashley Fox. These are mine. We are here looking at. If you guys want to check them out, you can buy them on Amazon. You can buy the ebooks on Smashwords or Amazon. Or listen to the YouTube audiobooks right here. We have a comic book in the description, Ashley Fox Ninja Babysitter. And this one, is there a page? There is. Yeah, so these are here. And, oh, the angel. This is Ashley Fox Last Valkyrie. Art by Jason Harold Arcilla, who I went to animation school with. He went to animation school after he'd already done storyboards for Marvel Comics for the Incredible Hulk cartoon. He was already that good, and that was where I met him. Today's conflicted card is the Ace of Diamonds, and this one names a new guy. Sebastian Van Zandt is stuck because he is a United States Marine, and he's conflicted whether he should stay with his unit or protect his family. It literally says that his loyalties are divided, and what should he do? To serve one is to betray the other. Should he stay with his unit or should he go home and protect his family? There are circumstances to this. You can't be in both places at the same time, but what are the circumstances? There's not enough circumstances here. You can't desert your unit if your family is not really under threat. And if your family really is under threat, there might be a way to convince your unit to go with you. Probably not. It would depend. But your family is the one you won't be able to forgive yourself over. So today's tarot card, this fantasy tarot deck, is the Knight of Pentacles. I don't know if you guys can see this really all that well. Yesterday, I don't think the Dryad was really focused on. You know what I'll do? I will take this one and a leprechaun. And I'll take photos of them. That'd be kind of cool. These are cool looking, so. So, I don't know what's going on with me. I didn't write anything last night. I took a lot of comedy notes. I did write a bit about, I didn't write a comedy bit, but I laid out the elements of a comedy bit about a first job as a landscaper. Right now, today I was working on a little bit, doing something about Disney. So we'll see if I can crush those down to jokes that can then be memes, that could then be illustrated memes, that could then be animated bits. That'd be kind of cool. Anyhow, I guess a lot of this, all your life you're going to struggle with how successful you are and whether or not you did the right thing in the right order at the right time. Even if you've made a lot of money, there's going to be opportunities you've had to pass up. There's going to be opportunities that you couldn't pursue that will always leave you feeling like you might have missed something, like you could have worked harder, you could have done more. That's always going to be there. But having something like this, I'm going to get some copies of these so I can have them here and just, show the big brick of the book. Having this helps a lot. This helps me sleep at night a lot because I do have tangible results for the effort that I put forth. I had to come to a really hard personal admission, really kind of today, that my art, that I was never going to be pro, that I was never fast enough to be pro. I'm not making excuses for myself. It simply came down to talent. The same way I was never going to be able to throw a football fast enough or hit a baseball fast enough. In the Marine Corps, they wouldn't let me fly jets because of my eyes. They wouldn't have let me fly helicopters because of my eyes. So at some point, you have to know your limitations and work within them. And writing was that for me. I still love drawing. I'm still going to work on illustration. But I'm not going to kick myself because I never became a pro anymore. And I'm sitting here squirming because this is hard to talk about. This is hard to acknowledge. I've been a try-hard my entire life. Hit the gym, read everything, wanted to be a great writer. I was the guy, like my friends and family are all successful and none of them worked anywhere near as hard as I did. And they're all way more successful than I am. So what does that tell you? Is that because I'm a loser, because I tried the wrong things, because I worked too hard at the wrong things, because I didn't commit to anything for long enough? All of those are possibly true. The things I did commit to, what good is your health if you lose one of your eyes because you spent 3 years sitting in a dark office staring at a computer screen? I did that to myself. When I get to sit here and write or draw, yesterday I got quite a bit of drawing done, and I forget about all the drama and all the nonsense, and I'm just like legit happy. Money doesn't matter in that moment, So, yeah, life could always be better. Life could always be better, and almost everyone I know is really unhappy. More unhappy than I am. So, make of that what you will. Talk to you guys tomorrow.